Hello. How are you guys doing? I am here with Crazy Bird. This is one of the toys that Alex bought for his birthday. Baby, you want to see it? What is that, Tucker? What is that, sweetheart? It's another exciting night. I'm charging my phone because I was going to leave here and go listen to my audiobook, but my phone is on 34%, so I'm charging it right now. Alex is in the bedroom, or is in the bathroom shaving his face, and then he is yeah. He's in there shaving his face, and then he said he was going to take a shower. So, and my phone's going off right now. He's going to take a shower, and then he has to pick up his best friend Sarah from the airport at like 5:30 in the morning. So he has to leave her at 5. Look at how pretty my hair is. Isn't it so pretty? This is really not the most comfortable way to sit in this bed. I've got to find maybe another way to talk to you guys. Okay. Tucker, what do you think, huh? What do you think about the world? He says, Dad, I don't know what I think about the world. Boo Radley is sick. I know the lighting is horrible. Boo Radley is sick. And I went to... God, I wish the lighting was better in here. Pee-pee, what are you doing? Look at Pee-pee. Pee-pee. Beeps. He is not paying me any attention. I bet if I do it this way with the light behind me, it'll be better. Boo Radley is sick, and I was really worried about him earlier. He was like shaking and stuff, and so I was like, well, if I get up tomorrow and he's still sick, then I'll take him to the vet. And so I was just thinking about like what Tanya has told me to do in the past, like if the dogs are like sick, and he was like vomiting, but it was like he couldn't even keep anything down, like water and all this kind of stuff. And so I like Googled it, and I was like trying to see what I could figure out to give him so that he would feel a little bit better, you know, before I could get up tomorrow, because if he was still sick, I was just going to take him right over there. Well, we went to the grocery store because Alex came home from work, and we were going to watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and so we wanted to get some food, and we were just going to sit there and eat it while we watched the show. So I got white rice and boneless chicken breast and heated it up and mixed it together, just a little small bit of it, and he ate all of it, and he kept it down, and he was like sitting up while we were watching TV. He must be downstairs right now. He goes and sits in his house by himself. But he was like sitting up, and he was like watching TV with us, and he wasn't shaking, and so I'm like, oh, thank God he's not sick. So we'll see. Hopefully tomorrow, you know, I won't wake up and he'll be real sick or something. So anyway, I think I don't have anything really that exciting to share today. I got up today. What did I do today? I got up today and I wrote for like 2 hours, and then I went and got a coffee. Is it my phone? And then I went and got a coffee. And then I drove around for a little bit listening to my audiobook and did some errands. Just little stupid stuff that I had to do. And then I came back and I filmed, but that was at about, I got back here at about 4:30, and I filmed my videos and uploaded them. But I took my time today. Like, I just really relaxed around the house, and like while I was uploading them, I was watching The Shallows, that shark movie, you know, and I just really like enjoyed my day. It was nice. And when I, by the time I got him uploaded and stuff, like Alex was getting ready to get off work, and so he's like, well, I'm gonna be home soon. So I was like, all right. Oh. We just gotta go. You want to go? I've been trying not to eat out as much. My stomach has felt a lot better the last 2 days, but I also think that has to do that I've been really watching what I'm eating, so I don't know. But when we were at the grocery store tonight, Alex was looking at the frozen foods, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get, like, I miss eating a lot of those, like, Morningstar and Boca meals, you know, that you can make, like, sandwiches out of and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I think I'm gonna get a bunch of that, and then, like, you know, make some of, like, the burgers, like the Morningstar burgers and the breakfast stuff. So then I'm getting a lot of protein, but, like, meatless protein. I don't personally think that stuff is bad. I think it's actually really good. The fake chicken patties are really good. And, like, when I would make, like, the veggie burgers and I would put, like, lettuce and onion and everything on it, those were really good. And they're low-fat, low-cal, and they're really high in protein and fiber. So they're pretty good for you, I think. Yeah, so that's about my day. I've got like 2 hours and 15 minutes left of my audiobook, the Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. It's really good. Like, it's really, really spooky, but it's really good. You have, like, no clue what's going on. I'm, like, dying. Like, it's, like, one of the best mysteries I've read in a long time. So I'm kind of, like, really wanting to know what's, like, going on. I have to be careful for when he walks out, because he might walk out, and then this will be R-rated for full nude, and I can't have that. Anyway, yeah. So, it's been a good day. It was a real good day today. I don't know what else there is to tell. It was like 65 outside today and, like, so sunny. I, like, so don't want it to go back to, like, colder weather again. I'm, like, so scared that it's gonna be cold again. Our ceiling is, like, perfectly white, and the shadows up there make it look like it's really dirty. These are the watches that my dad gave us for Christmas. He gave us matching watches. They're nice. Alex wears his all the time, but I don't ever wear mine. My dad thought it was romantic to give us matching watches. And then Alex got this as a work present for Christmas. This is a really nice watch. And then I bought this for him on the beach in Miami. See, because it has an anchor. And I bought Tanya one, and I bought me one. And so we all three of them must have anchor bracelets. Woo, cast. Can you tell I'm bored? What if I run out of stories to tell in my vlog? Do you know what I miss? Is, like, well, I'm sure it's coming back, but Big Brother, like, not Celebrity Big Brother, because I don't feel like that's the same thing. But I like real Big Brother. And, oh, he just turned on music, so I'm going to have to turn this off, because it's not going to play with music in the background. He plays that real loungy kind of music. Can you hear it? Alright, well, listen, I'm going to end this. I miss Big Brother, where they were, like, whispering on the back patio. That's what I was going to say. I miss that. But he's got the music, because he's having his relaxing time now, where he stands in the shower for a half an hour. It's so funny when I go in there. He's like standing up against the wall, and, like, the water's just hitting him. Sometimes he sits on the floor in the shower. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will be back in just a little while. All right. So I'm finally leaving. It's on the floor over there. Looks like a tag or something. Price tag. I am leaving the house. And I'm, like, awake. I'm, like, awake. I waited till Alex got out of the shower. And then when I went down to check down on Boo Radley, I don't know what that chicken and rice did, but man, he is a different dog. I mean, he was, like, shaking and trembling earlier. Like, every time he would drink water, he would just like regurgitate it right up. He was really sick. And we gave him that chicken and rice. I cooked it up into a little, you know, plastic container, and I gave it to him, and I mean, he ate it right up. He ate it pretty kind of slow, though. I thought was interesting, because he usually just gobbles the food down. And he's like back to his own old self, but even better. Like, he was running around the yard right now. I just took them out, and I went down to go check on him because Tucker and Pee-Pee were in the bed, but like Boo wasn't up there. But Boo likes to, he goes and sits down in his house by himself, and if you go down there, he's just sitting there like on his blanket, like looking out, like, here I am, just hanging out. So I went down there, and there he was on his blanket, just kind of looking out, like, is it time for bed yet? Boo Radley has no concept of time. I'm sure most dogs don't have any concept of time, but Boo Radley really doesn't have any concept of time. So, but he's so sweet, and so I made him go upstairs with Alex. And Alex is super excited because he's going to pick up his best friend at the airport. She flies in at 5:30, and then they're going to breakfast. And depending on, I need to plug in my phone. Depending on, like what I'm doing, because they're going to breakfast at like 6:30, and then Alex has to go to work. So depending on, you know, that, I might go with them, but probably doubtfully not. I won't. I need to take my car to get an oil change tomorrow, or not an oil change, but anyway, I've got a bunch of errands I have to run tomorrow, a bunch of stupid stuff to do. And I just put up some new shirts on my merch shop that people had asked for, so go check them out. There's a Pee-Pee the Flying Chihuahua t-shirt and sweatshirt with a front and back on it. And there's a Gimlet's Jade t-shirt and a, oh, hi, Jane. So, yeah. I made those, and I might take some down and put some others up. The merch shop is kind of fun to come up with stuff, you know. It's really fun, actually. So, yeah, anyway. That's what I did tonight. And, I was looking up, you know, different places to go stay on our trip. We still haven't figured out where we're going to go. I've got to get something to drink. I'm, like, dying of thirst right now. I haven't had anything to drink today. Well, that's not true. I had water. Did I have water with dinner? I had a glass of like I got an orange juice at the grocery store, like a small like orange juice. And then I have, like I had water, but like just a cup of water. And then that coffee earlier in the day. I really haven't had anything to drink today. And I'm super thirsty right now. And really what I'm thirsty for is a cream soda. But I think that I'm going to get a bottle of water. Or maybe an iced tea. I could do an iced tea tonight. I don't know why I've gotten into that iced tea thing, but I will tell you, it's only that one kind of iced tea. I don't like the, I'm kind of afraid to try other iced teas now that I found one that I liked. If that makes any sense. So, paid all the bills today, got all that stuff done, all the fun stuff. I'm doing the readathon this weekend. I still don't know like when it is. I have to look all that. I mean, I know it's the 28th, but I don't know when it starts and when it ends and how all that stuff goes. So they didn't even have all that stuff posted the last time I looked. So I don't know how you would know that stuff, but I'm going to try to look it up. Well, it starts on the 28th, so I need to look it up tomorrow because it might start tomorrow like at midnight. And my assumption is that it probably does. Of course, I have 50 things I have to do on Saturday, so, including help Alex's brother move. All right, well, I'm going to go get something to drink, and I will be back in a little while. Hello? I've been listening to my audiobook with the windows down. It's like, it smells like they're burning leaves or something outside. It smells really good outside. It smells like, it kind of smells like the fall. It's interesting. It's 50 degrees outside. It's supposed to be turning nicer weather in the next couple days. But I love the smells from outside. My audiobook is so good. I'm so into it right now. I got an iced tea. I had something to say and then I can't remember what I was going to say. Before I started my camera, I had like a story that I was going to tell or something. Oh, it doesn't matter. It was so funny how many people like commented on the movies that I was talking about last night, and other people in there put like movies that they liked as well. I thought that was really fun. And I was like reading through them, and a couple people were like, the actress that you're talking about is Margot Kidder, or Margot Kidd, or whatever her name is. I was like, yes, that's who it is, Lois Lane from Superman. Halloween door. We are 6 months away from Halloween. We don't even need to think about that. Not 6 months, but we're far enough away. We're having like such a hard time narrowing down this trip that we want to do. And there's also a possibility that we might be going to Las Vegas for EDC, which is a music festival. I think it stands for Electric Daisy Carnival. Alex really wants to go, and he thinks he might have got media passes for the website, so that would be fun. And we would just stay with his cousin if we did that. She said we could stay with her and use her car and stuff, so that would be fun. And then I don't know what else. I might have a possible collab later in the summer that I was arranging today, but I'll just keep that a little secret and we'll see if it actually happens. But I think it probably will. So that'll be fun. And yeah, that's about it. I'm doing the readathon tomorrow. I just don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight. I don't even know what to say. All the summer construction is starting early already. You know, it's weird because like the colleges are getting out like this week and next week, or like the last week of colleges for a lot of schools. And so it's like finals week and things like that, and it's weird to think that for like, if you're in college right now, like summer is starting right now, you know. And I know a lot of college kids take like summer classes, but I don't know, it's just weird to think, you know, that, I mean, it's not even May 1st yet. My friend's daughter is in school, and her last class is next Tuesday. She has a project she has to turn into, and then she starts summer school. She's in graduate school, but she starts summer school May 6th. So, I mean, I think she's out of like her first session of summer school by like the second week of June, and then turns around, like starts her summer session 2 right away. It's kind of weird as you get older, you don't really notice like the seasons changing as much, because they kind of like just float one into the other. You know, like when you're a kid, like, you know, seasons are marked by holidays, and definitely I would say, I feel like schools do this as much anymore, but when I was growing up, you know, celebrating certain holidays, and, you know, having, you know, a party for this, and snow days, and, you know, the holiday break, and summer break, and seasons were kind of split up by like events, you know, or time off or whatever. And you know, our fall break always happened on Halloween. It was always the weekend of Halloween. And you know, Thanksgiving we always had off, you know, those, I think we had like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off on Thanksgiving weeks. Maybe it was just Thursday and Friday, I don't even remember. But like when you're an adult, like, you know, you don't mark time by events like that. I mean, you mark them by events, but it's like, oh, Thanksgiving's on Thursday, I've got to go get the food, I've got to do this, we're going over to so-and-so's house, what do we have to bring, have an outfit to wear, those kinds of things, you market by different things instead of like events in school, I don't know, it's just kind of funny to me. Alex and I rarely go to the grocery store together, and we went tonight, and it was kind of fun. We were just like walking up and down the aisles looking at stuff. It's such stupid, like, just lame stuff like that that I really enjoy, being in a relationship and just doing those silly things like that. Which maybe to other people aren't silly, but like when you've lived together with somebody for almost 10 years, it's kind of like those are the things you like take for granted, and then you just don't do them as much anymore. It's like we were talking the other night, like when we first got together, we used to go see a lot of movies. Like every Sunday we would go see a movie. We never go see movies anymore. Last weekend we were going to go see a movie with Jason and Melissa, and now if we do go to movies, we usually go with them. But they wanted to go, Melissa wanted to go see that scary movie, Quiet Room, or Quiet Space, or whatever. And, I'm so tired today, I don't know why. Jason wanted to go see Beirut. I wanted to see Ready Player One. And Alex wanted to see, I can't remember, something else. But we were both willing to go see A Quiet Space. And then they were like, oh no, we're going to go to Beirut. So we went to dinner first, then none of us wanted to go to movies, so. That right there is called getting older. No, I think I'd rather just stay at home. Watch RuPaul's Drag Race tonight. I won't do any spoilers for anybody, but I have to just tell you, it's like the only show that I'm totally caught up on. I told Alex, like when it was starting tonight, I said, I really like this season. Like, I'm really into this season. It's a fun season. And, I have to tell you that I am rooting for Eureka O'Hara to win. I am loving her this season. So, everybody go tweet Eureka O'Hara and tell her Peter Monn is your biggest fan. There's something about, I don't know, there's something about his story, like growing up and being bullied, and he talks a lot, and people are always talking him down because he talks a lot, and he's very loud, and, I feel like I've had people say that to me my entire life, like, God, you talk so much, or, God, you're so loud, like, hold it down, like, people, I mean, I get that comment on my videos all the time, and, the comment sections don't really bother me anymore, but, like, when people in my real life say it to me, I mean, my close friends don't say it to me because they know who I am, but when people say to me, like, hold it down a little bit, or I'm like, I am 45 years old. Who talks to a 45-year-old that way? Hold it down? Screw you, And, I used to see it as, like, something negative about myself. I don't see it as something negative about myself anymore. I see it as somebody's inability to live in a world that they can't control, is what I see. In fact, a lot of the complaints that people have about other people is their inability to control somebody else. And I'm not down with your control games. So when people try to control me, I'm just like, that's when I resist the most, And, but today, I'm trying to live with more peace and serenity in my heart and not be so reactionary, to stuff that I'm like in my head right now as I'm saying this thinking, you never know what you're going to talk about and it turns into something. But no, like I've really tried in the last couple years to not be as reactionary to things and to respond more and to live with like, serenity in my heart, and which is one of my friend's dog's names, so I'm laughing thinking of the dog. But no, with serenity and like grace in my heart, and like, and I don't mean that as religious terms, I mean that as spiritual characteristics, and as a person that doesn't get their feathers ruffled easily, and they think through things, and but it can be dangerous too, because the more I sit back and watch and respond, sometimes it's easier to like, understand a situation when you do that and you go, oh, okay, so is this why they're doing that? Like, is this what their motive is? Because when you sit back and you truly watch somebody and what they're doing, right? Somebody that maybe you have an issue with or you don't really understand, and you sit there and you watch what they're doing, you know? You really watch them. Then what you realize is that you can really figure out somebody by just watching them, you know? And then today, to be honest with you, I just don't have the kind of emotional investment into a lot of people to really care. You know, a lot of people that have issues with me, I'm just like, have an issue with me then. You know what? Like, I don't really know what to tell you. But I don't, by and large, you know, it's interesting because I don't, by and large, have a lot of people that really have issues with me. I mean, you know, I get along with a lot of people. I mean, I know I have a drama channel, but like, you know, off of YouTube, it's not like I'm into the drama in my real life. I'm just not that person, you know, I'm just not. And, in fact, it was funny because Tanya and I were talking about this the other night. You know, there were several years where I didn't go to meetings, and, I didn't drink, but I didn't go to meetings, and I've talked about this on here before. It was a point when I had, like, really no spiritual, foundation in my life, and you know, no emotional sobriety whatsoever. And, but when I came back in, I was going to a lot of meetings, and I was going to like 2 meetings a day, and they were all at like a recovery clubhouse. So I was going to like a 12, like noon meeting, and then like an 8 o'clock meeting. And, I mean, you go to 14 meetings a week, you start meeting a lot of the people, and you start meeting a lot of the same people. Well, I liked it because I felt included. And when I came back in this time, I said, okay, I want to be part of something. I had heard this, like the speaker tell her story. I was listening to it online one night, and she said it's hard to fall off the wagon when you're sitting in the middle of it. So when I came back in, because I know this is hard to believe, but with my social anxiety and things like that, I was never the person that would, like, go and talk to people at meetings and stuff like that. Like, I would sit in groups, and I would kind of, like, pass if it came to me, but I just wasn't really I'm not that person today. I'm not. I'm like, hey, how are you? I'm Peter. It's really nice to meet you. Are you new? Like, that's who I am today. Or, hey, I've never met you before. It's really nice to meet you. You know, what other meetings do you go to? Because I realized that the only way for me to get out of myself and the only way for me to meet other people was that I was going to have to put my hand out first. I was going to have to go sit in the middle of the wagon, you know? And what happened over time was I ended up getting to know everybody. Well, recovery clubhouses are kind of notorious for having a lot of people in early sobriety. And, you know, a lot of the people there were getting in relationships. Of course, I befriended every woman there, you know, and was having a blast and going out to lunch and all this kind of stuff. And I was friends with these women, and we would all get together, and they called themselves the sober bitches, okay? So anyway, I mean, but it was fun. I was having a good time, and I was part of something, you know? Well, I somehow got caught up into all of the drama. I don't even know how it happened. I really don't. You know, and like, somebody would come and say, oh, well, you know, so-and-so slept with so-and-so, and did you know that? And he's married, and oh, you need to talk to her because she did this and that and the other. And then I'm like, oh my God, what did I get involved? And I would go to Tanya and I'd say, I don't know what to say. Like, these people are just coming up to me constantly after meetings wanting to tell me all the, you know, and she'd say, I told you to stay out of it. You need to just go to the meeting and leave. Go to the meeting and leave. And I would stand out there and talk to people, and I was like, oh, really? I was so part of all of that. And then my sponsor at the time, who had been my sponsor for 12 years, I'll never forget going and talking to him. He said, well, why don't you remove yourself from the situation? He had me do some he goes, if all the drama's coming to you, he goes, you must be a good listener. I said, well, I like to think of myself as a good listener. He just left. He goes, well, you're going to start going somewhere else to meetings. He goes, because you need to focus on your sobriety and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's why I changed where I went to meetings. And but he had me do some really healthy stuff at that point. Like, I had to go to like 3 new meetings a week, and I couldn't tell anybody how much sobriety time I had there unless they asked. But like, I couldn't say like, oh, you know, I've been sober, you know, like, if it was, I had to go to new meetings that I had never tried before, and I had to go in there and I had to say, you know, like, oh, and like, let's just say if we're talking about resentment, I would say, well, the way that I got over resentment was yada, 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 you know, but I got sober in, you know, 1994, and then they would all know how much time I had. I wasn't allowed to do that. I had to go in there and sit like I was a newcomer, so that, you know, I had to feel what it was like to be a newcomer. He wanted me to feel that. And it was really vital to my sobriety. It was really vital to me building confidence, to realize that people liked me, and it didn't have anything to do with how many years I was sober, how wise I was, you know, which was bullshit anyway. I wasn't. And you know what I mean? Like, it had nothing to do with that. I was hiding behind all of this BS, you know, that I would sit, you know, and say, well, I got sober when I was, you know, 22 years old. I got sober in 94, and, you know, then people would be like, oh, really? Because that's like a really long time, you know, at that point, you know, and then they would be like, all of a sudden, they're listening. When, if they just thought that I came in the week before, they weren't going to listen. Well, there's a lot of people that come into meetings and don't ever share how much sobriety time they have. And, you know, they could have 40 years and they share very good stuff and they never say anything about their time. And it's called humility. And that was really what my sponsor wanted me to learn, was humility. I think there's a lack of humility in the world today, and I struggle with it as well. You know, it's something that I really work towards. You know, I was taught that when you look at your character defects, do the opposite, you know? So, if I'm acting cocky and arrogant, you know, the counterpart to that is being humble and, you know, not bragging about yourself, not being the first one to point out your strengths and how great you are and all this kind of stuff, you know? And so, to tie this back, like, when you're looking at somebody's behaviors and they're acting a certain way, it's, you know, it's really easy to just go, you know, like, oh, if they're, you know, it's just, you know, whatever the behavior is that they're doing, to look at the counterpart of that and imagine what that person would be like if they were behaving in that way. You know what I mean? Like, if they're full of rage, imagine what they would be like if they were full of peace. And that's a choice that they have. It's a choice that all of us have. To behave in a certain way, to act the counterpart to our character defects. And, you know, today I would rather act the counterpart to my character defects. I would rather, you know, be positive and work on myself. And whether, you know, anybody wants to believe that or not, that's okay. Like, I know in my heart of hearts who I am, you know? The day comes that I don't ever have to get on camera and say I have social anxiety. You know, I really do. I hope the day comes where I say, you know, I used to have social anxiety and I just don't anymore. And the reality is that making videos has really helped me with that. You know, I would say that if before my social anxiety was, okay, let's be fair, if a 10 is like horrible off the charts and a 1 is not bad at all, I mean, I was probably a 6, 5 or 6, you know, like, I mean, I'm not a shut-in. I'm not a recluse. That would be a 10, I think. People that don't even talk to anybody or go anywhere or see anybody. You know, I'm not that. But when it came to social interactions, I definitely was afraid. And, I mean, nervous as hell before I had to go do anything with people, even if they were people that I knew. I'd say it's down now to about a 3 or a 2, you know, depending on the event. So that's a lot to be said for just getting on here and making videos and talking to a camera. You know, it's like, that helped your social anxiety? Yeah, it really did. And you guys honestly really helped with a lot of that, you know? With you guys commenting and watching my videos, and what that says is, oh, there's something they must enjoy, unless you're watching me for the train wreck that I am. But I don't put a lot of train wreck kind of stuff on my channel. It's basically just me talking about stupid stories in my life. So, I mean, I don't know. Most of you say you use me to go to sleep at night, so that's all right. I'm like the oral melatonin, I guess. But, you know, you know, it's just, I don't know, like, you guys have helped me with that by the comments that you leave, and you make me feel better about myself and realize I really don't have anything to be afraid of. you know? I really don't. And that's where that statement, you know, that there's nothing to fear but fear itself, you know, I think that was Roosevelt said that, I think. You know, it's so true. It's like we're more incapacitated by fear than we are actually those things that we are afraid of. Although, I watched The Shallows today, and I'm still afraid of sharks, deathly afraid. And I watched the trailer for Open Water 3, Cage, whatever, and no, I have not seen that one, and I told Alex I want to see it this weekend. I cannot wait. I didn't know that I hadn't seen that one. I saw the other one that was about those other two girls that get trapped in the cage. I was like, I want to see this movie so bad. You guys are like, why? You hate sharks, why do you want to see it so bad? I don't know, I just do, I'm obsessed. I can't believe that yellow light hasn't come on yet, and I've been filming for 21 minutes. It usually comes on about the 18-minute mark. 18-minute mark! You know, and the other thing I think is a misconception about the world is that you have to be, like, deeply intellectual and serious all the time to work on, you know, yourself and other things. It's like, you can't laugh, you know, about something. You know, sure you can. You know, we can laugh at each other. We can, as long as we're not doing it in a hurtful way. I'm funny. I screw up all the time, you know? Like, I trip and fall, and that's deserving of a laugh, and unless I hurt myself, you know? It's like, I don't know, I just, sometimes it's like, do y'all feel like we've gotten way too serious? I mean, a little bit. Like, I know when people hate when I say this kind of stuff, but I feel like the entire world is now, like, all just social justice warriors. And I have played my part into that, too. I'm not saying that I haven't, you know? And there are some things to me that are very, very serious that I'm just like, come on now, like, you know? But there are other things that I'm just like, do you have those friends, like, on Facebook and Twitter that, like, everything they post is to prove a point? Like, everything. And not just with one agenda, it doesn't seem like, but really with any agenda. And so really what they're saying is, I'm just going to force my opinion about everything down your throat. And it's just like every time that they put up a status on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you're just like, oh, seriously? God. Can you go back to, like, posting pictures of your grandkids and shit like that? Like, that's just not detrimental to the world. And then there are the same ones that on Instagram, you know, like, after they basically come for everybody and told you all to disagree with them, or to defriend them on Facebook if you don't agree with them. That shit always cracks me up. When people are like, defriend me if you don't agree with me. And you know it's like after they've had 10 drinks late at night. And then the next day they're like, I'm sorry for the things I said. I'm like, do people really live on Facebook like this anymore? I cannot stand Facebook. I hardly ever get on Facebook. I just really can't stand it. So anyway, but my friend Tanya is like that. She is on Facebook all the time. She's like, did you see this? I'm like, no, Tanya, I am never on Facebook. I don't get on Facebook. I don't enjoy it. I don't participate in things I don't enjoy in my life today. Listen, I only have so many hours left on this earth. Here's a very good lesson, all right? I only have so many hours left on this earth. I don't spend a whole lot of that time doing shit that I can't stand. I just don't. And when people ask me to do something and I don't want to do it, I say no. Sorry, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I really appreciate the invite, but I'm just not interested. Why should I? And why should I ruin their time? One of the things I really don't like is when people will go and do something, and then I'll say, well, why did you go if you didn't want to go? And they're, oh, well, I would have felt bad telling them no. Tell them no and let them invite somebody that actually wants to go. That's so silly. I don't get that. Oh, well, nobody listens to me, and I'm solving the world's problems over here. But seriously, you know, it's like I don't participate in that stuff anymore that I don't want to do, you know? It's just like, whatever. I lost my track of mind turning around there. I was thinking of something when I was there, and then I was like, turning around, so I forgot what I was saying. Oh well. I guess it wasn't that important. Oh, Facebook and Twitter. That's what I was going to say. these people that post this stuff. This guy one night, this was before I was on YouTube, he and his wife are friends with, like, Melissa and Jason. Okay, so Melissa and Jason are our closest friends that are a couple. And Erin and her husband, Eric, are good friends of ours as well. And, like, the three couples, we do a lot of stuff together. But there's, like, three more couples that we all do stuff for, like, New Year's and, you know, every big concerts and stuff. We always go do everything together, right? So, this one woman's husband, I would not even care if he was watching this video and he knew I talked about him. I think he's an ass. I think he's a horse's ass. He takes the I defriended him. I did, and I'll tell you why. Because I didn't want him to be able to contact me anymore is why. Even though he has my phone number, he can text me, but he never does. He starts drinking at about, this is one of the things I can't stand, okay? If you like to drink, have your drink, right? I'm not going to say anybody's an alcoholic that's not. But if you can't control your spirits to the point that you're sending people messages that you shouldn't be sending them about all kinds of political shit at 3 o'clock in the morning that somebody doesn't even care to receive. So, this is what he does. He gets, you know, into the wine, and then he's got all these opinions about the world, right? So I had said something one night, and I don't even remember what I said, okay? But now y'all know, I don't post political statements on my Facebook, on my Twitter, on my, anywhere, okay? Oh, I know what I was gonna say. These same people that are always stirring up shit on the Facebook, and they live for it, you know they do, right? Are the same ones that on the Instagram are posting the memes that say stuff like, it shut off. But I was saying that these people on the Twitter and the Facebook are the same ones that go over to Instagram, and then they post these memes that say things like, you know, search for love and peace in your heart every day and you will find it. And I'm like, if you really believed that, you wouldn't be starting the wars on the Facebook every day. So anyway, this guy one night was so killing. Got into the wine, okay? Oh, I know what it was about. I said something about my husband. I said something about, I can't remember what it was, but I used the term my husband, okay? Now, this person knows me well. Not super well, but he knows me. And he said something to me on my face, like, to me, and he said, and my comment was something like, I'm very, very proud of my husband for doing something, you know? And he said something to the effect of, like, please choose the words you use carefully. There are some of us that are still offended and do not agree with marriage equality, or something like that, okay? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, you're gonna come over here and say something to me about this, about my husband? My legal husband, right? So, this is before I had peace in my heart and on a daily basis, okay, y'all? So I sent him a message up on the Facebook. I still can't stand him, okay? Whenever we go somewhere, I always ask if he's going to be there. And then I, of course, roll my eyes, you know? And Melissa's always like, can you just be civil tonight, please? I'm like, as long as he keeps his mouth shut, I can be real civil. So anyway, but I sent him a message, and I said, do you have a problem with me and my husband? Like, it was, like, really that blunt. Well, he sends me back, like, an hour later, you know, and it was one of these things where you could, like, see the bubbles come up, and then it would go down. And then the bubbles come up, and then they go down. Do you know what I'm talking about? So you know that they're writing. I mean, he wrote for a good hour, okay? And all of a sudden, I see this very scripted, you know, concocted paragraph come up. That's all about politics and religion. And I thought, are you going to go there with me? Seriously? Are you going to go there with me? So I sent him a very nice message back, and I said something to the effect of, you know, like, I just think that we probably should agree to disagree. You're never going to see my point of view. You don't walk in my shoes. Until you do, I don't respect really your opinion, but let's just agree to disagree, you know? And I turned off my phone and went to bed. Well, I woke up the next morning, and I mean to tell you, okay, and I got up the next morning at like 9. It was like kind of early, because this had been like 2 or 3. So I get up the next morning. Oh, God, that stupid yellow light just came on. How does that happen? Because I turned around. I didn't let it cool off. I turned right around. But anyway, I woke up, and there were literally, like, message from him for, like, 2 hours straight, and then it just, boom, stopped, right? I am like, and I immediately called Melissa and read her every message. I said that he is crazy. I go, Melissa, and she's like laughing on the phone. I'm like, he is crazy, Melissa. I said, you have got to tell him to pull his shit together. I cannot deal with him anymore. Like, he's crazy. And this was not like the first time that he had like kind of come for me. Like, I didn't understand what his issue was with me. But anyway, see, like I said, at that point, I'm getting riled up again. Oh. Now I'll probably have to see him tomorrow for some stupid reason, because now that he's in my mind. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So I called her. I like reading her stuff to her. She's laughing and whatever. She's like, now Peter, you know he always gets like that after he's been drinking a little bit. I don't care. Blah blah blah. I didn't have peace and serenity in my heart yet, right? So anyway, so I just kind of let it go. I did not respond to him or anything. Well, about 3 o'clock that afternoon, I get this message from him, this very short message, and he said, it's something like, yes, I do think that we should just agree to disagree. That being said, something like, that being said, I apologize for my many messages last night. I may have had more wine than I intended. I don't remember sending these messages to you, or something like that. I was like, all right. So I was like, whatever. It is what it is. And I was like, yeah, it's cool, we're cool, whatever, you know? That's just the easiest way to say it anyway. But then, man, I mean, like, the election stuff started, and it was like, he must have been drinking 24 hours a day, because he just couldn't stop on the Facebook. So I finally just was like, enough already. People were like, this is what was so funny when people said this to me. They said, you get so tired of the Facebook around election time because of people that have opinions that you don't agree with. I said, first of all, you don't know what my opinions are. Second of all, because I keep politics and religion to myself, because I believe that that's how I was raised, okay? And I don't know what has happened in this world that my mother and my father taught me. The two things you don't talk about with friends and family, because you'll ruin relationships, or politics and religion. And that's the two things that nobody wants to shut their mouth about today, and we wonder why we can't keep friends. You know? So anyway, we can have spiritual conversations with people. That's completely different. But anyway, man, I'm telling you right now, I was just as offended by all across the board kind of people being so direct and saying, if you don't agree with me, I am not looking forward to the next election, you know? I think that they need to ban anybody from saying anything political about any political party on the Facebook, okay? I think Facebook should be about, are you at the gym, traveling pictures, your grandma, your grandpa, you know, your grandkid pictures, graduations. Basically, we all use it as a living scrapbook. We know that, okay? It's where we put all of our pictures, except for on the Instagram, but those are all staged selfies anyway. So we all know that that's what the Facebook's for. It's for pictures like that, right? So can we just use it for what it is? In fact, somebody ought to start like a Facebook just for pictures that doesn't have any social status updates or anything, except for maybe you want to write something about a trip you took or your grandbaby's birthday. You know, Stella age 3 or something. Who'd care? But it doesn't need to get any deeper than that. Y'all think that my rants are fake. See, this is for real. This is truly how I feel. You know, but it just wears me out. I don't need to know every move that you are making in your entire life, okay? I don't need to see your 25,000 pictures of how you cooked your, you know, Johnny Marzetti last night and how much your family loved it and it was a real deal, okay? I'm happy for you. And then I really don't need you to get upset with me because I didn't like your 25 pictures of the Johnny Marzetti and the spaghetti that you made with the Italian bread from Homemade. And then you get mad because I didn't see it. Did you see my picture? You didn't like it. You didn't even comment on it. No, I didn't see it. I never get on the Facebook. People get so upset with me about it. I might do a rant video about this. I might just do a rant video about this. So anyway, I am heated now. Well, listen, it's going to turn off in a second anyway, so I'm going to get off here and bid you good night. I need to pull it in and find some peace and serenity. It is really funny, isn't it, though? I mean, like, people do get really very upset about it. I mean, I'm joking kind of right now, but it kind of cracks my shit up. People get so upset about the Facebook. They really do. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I will let you guys go have the rest of your weekend. Have a happy Saturday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, no, it will be Friday. Have a wonderful, thank God it's Friday. And don't forget, Dewey's 24-hour readathon is the 28th, Saturday, probably starting at midnight, and I'm doing it. So you should come and do it with me. It's at readathon on Twitter, or look up, Google Dewey's. I don't know anything about it, so just Google Dewey's readathon or something. 24-hour readathon. Oh, and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, I am doing my Sweet Audrina live stream on YouNow. It's linked below. I put up my video review of it today. Go check it out if you want to see it. It's got a lot of spoilers in it, though. So, I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.